I am Ann-Peggy Divine. Welcome to the Divine Design, the podcast where we unfold heaven on earth and reframe spirituality and theology for a new cosmic era. Your journey on human evolution and integration of your divine design starts here. For the rest of 2026, I am offering 8 free gifts every week, starting week 33. Every week, 8 people will receive a free 13-minute attunement session, a part of Ask Divine. This is the session where something shifts, because you finally meet the part of yourself that has been waiting to be heard. To qualify, you can do one or both of the following. Share Field Readings newsletter with 3 people. You will find it at anpeggydivine.com or weltsmerts.se under Join Field Readings. Or share 1 or 2 of my weekly videos on your Facebook or Instagram timeline. Then let me know. Send me a DM on Messenger or Telegram, or write in the Facebook group Ask Divine. Every Friday I drew 8 names. If you are one of the 8, you will receive a private DM from me on Friday with your personal booking link. Sessions take place on Sundays and Mondays on Zoom, and you will receive your Zoom link from me the day on your session. Didn't make it this week? You're automatically in the draw again next week. The link to Attunement session and Ask Divine is below. I'll see you there. Welcome, Colin Whitby, back to Divine Design Podcast.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been fabulous time energetically, hasn't it? So so many bits and pieces going on, because there's been the eclipses and people loving the 8/8 a lot, and then there's going to be another solar eclipse, isn't there, on the 12th? So it's quite a packed sort of time, and lots of people talking about it as well. Lots of energy.
Yes, tomorrow is 8/8. And so we are kind of in the middle of a portal, and a lot of people is talking about the Lionsgate, and that's a spiritual term. And we spoke about, should we speak about the Lionsgate? Someone referred to it, and no one said that is not the concept. So I had a meditation this morning, because we were saying, well, we will make a podcast for week 32 this week, because it is a opening, and the insight I got was that it is man-made. We have created this opening, so most what we have of structure and concept is man-made. And I was also shown that it is not a coincidence that we have 12 aspects because of the year. It's kind of 12 aspects we are born into it, but that are constellation, as we know, that we refer to, that is affecting us. But the most important I got is that it is so easy to be in the zero state, kind of in our head, traveling, as we do a lot. In the divine, it's kind of, this is in the zero state, because it is not materialized, it is not in physical form. But the invitation now is to bring it into physical form. I got this so deep. It's kind of, we have spoken so much about the spiritual, and I was shown 3 people in my meditation that I have met, therapist and other teacher that I have met, and all of these 3 women, they had deep spiritual bypass. So they used the spiritual traveling as a bypass, because they hadn't done the deep work inside themselves. So they projected and put to other, you have spirits attached to you, you have this pattern, you have that, and they came from their shadow. And I have met a lot of these people, and I said, well, she destroyed me as a, I was in my essence, but she destroyed me kind of, because we let other persons guide us, or we don't take the full responsibility. So we put people on pedestals, even in the spiritual realm, and if they are not grounded and embodied, then it is not helpful for us. So what came up in so many different layers was how important it is to ground ourselves and embody it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's really coming through strongly. Um, and before we started, I was talking to you about something that's really impacted myself and a number of others that I know. And we've all been sharing some videos that um, Brian Scott's put out, and I send you the link. But it's great if you do them in sequence. And the ones that are affecting us mostly are his channeling of a group called the Operators. And like initially you kind of think operators, okay, yeah, yeah, I haven't heard of those yet. But the kind of impact they're having is similar to when I first read Coldas by Eleanor Dunham and heard about the architects, and suddenly architects, or like that feels good.
Yeah.
Well, these operators are kind of where the architects would go to get the reality flowing, if you like. So, it's another level of consciousness. Um, and they are us. So it's not like we're talking about another bunch of beings that we don't know. That everything is like, connected. We're at each and every one of these levels,
Yes.
including source or God or monad, whatever we like to,
Yeah.
where we're going with that. But the interesting thing is that we're experiencing such massive shifts now. So he's been broadcasting one a week for a while now. And each week they've given us a phrase to sort of latch into, to consider. What do you just say this phrase? Don't say it yourself, say it out loud, but just say it and you know, let it bed in. So the first one was, I am the one who creates. Now, we've been doing that sort of
Yeah.
thing, and we know that we create, but it's when you actually say it and it's connecting into the machine, if you like, that creates it, the massive potential of creation. It's just connecting you more to it because you're saying, I am the one that creates.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the next week, there was another phrase, and the light moves through me. And it's like, yeah, I can feel that. Yeah, it really is happening. So you're progressively moving more into the creator state. And then the next week following that, and reality bends toward my joy. And that one I really loved because we've been talking about Elohim coming in and they're creators, and we allow them through us, sort of thing. But no, 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 no. I, am the creator. I'm the one who creates, and reality bends toward my joy. And you think, well, I can feel that. I can actually feel it happening.
Yeah.
Wow. It's like, whew. Yeah. So, more powerful when you chat about it with a friend, by the way. So I chat with a number of other people, and we really dive in there. And wow, I mean, together the energies are astonishing. So you could imagine co-creation,
Yeah.
as that ripples out, as more and more of us are talking this, how that power increases. It's just astronomical. And you said you felt it when I was talking about it just now.
Yeah.
Um, and then the last one that we were left with, it's only just last week, I think. And I have always been this. So, it's sort of saying that actually everything around you is your creation
Yep.
because you've always been this. So, you think, well, there's some things I don't like. Ah, well, that's just part of the current sort of framework in which you've been creating. You've been creating within a restricted framework, a framework of lack of, all the things that we've talked about in the past. So, but now you're talking to the creation machine, if you like, from a different perspective. You're talking from you as remembering your creator.
Yep.
And what they said they noticed, which is something I was fascinated by, that because we've been in our restricted mode, we've been condensed and in a very low vibrational place for quite a long time now, humanity, So
Yep.
because you've been there, now that you're remembering your creator, you are creating a unique ripple in the time continuum. This has never existed before. This is brand new.
Yep.
What you're creating now has never been. There's no Akashic record of it in any lifetime, any time on Earth. There's no record of this particular type of creation being generated from a creator being on this planet. You are genuinely creating new,
Yep.
and the creation machine loves new. It thrives on something that's different and new and exciting, and so that would yeah, wow, you're thinking I always had the feeling that this hadn't been done before. I really, in the bottom, right deep down, I thought this is new. We've not done this before, and sure enough, you're getting sort of a reflection back from other people saying, yeah, this is new, this is new. So with that, my friend and I were playing with that energy, and just going in, and we discovered we'd already called this part of ourselves the observer,
Yep.
and in this program they referred to you've gone so far forward beyond what we imagined. You're teaching us, and now you're even touching the place we touch, which we call the observer. Well,
Yeah.
that's the monad, that's
Yeah.
source creator. What,
Yeah.
there's another name, but hey, the observer, then
Yeah.
you're connecting. Now we're really connecting.
Yeah.
Now we are, and so the observer comes into our field, and you're like, wow, that's big.
Yeah.
That is something. So, well, when we were here in the, being the observer and just acknowledging that that's the case, there's a on one of these paradoxes, you're in a still place, very still, but around you is this machine of creation that's just ready. It's absolutely, it's full with potential. It's got all these timelines that you could choose from. It's got all these experiences, and you almost, you're in that place where you could just go, I think I'd like to go this way.
Hmm.
And then you go, and ooh, that feels good. That's so good. And of course, it comes through on the love vibration
Yeah. Yeah.
and joy, and all of the positive, if you like, uplifting, emotive um, experience, and it really does. It gets you into the bliss field,
Yeah.
and it's like, yeah, this is creator being mode.
Yeah.
So absolutely fabulous.
I can give an example because you say we are a creator. This week we haven't spoken for a month or more, and today I will release a song, One Heart. So I made the song and the lyrics. So this will be released today, and tomorrow is another song, We Rise Together, and Sunday when the podcast come, We Are the Future. So it is three songs, and they are all in all multiple music station coming out tomorrow. 8/8, the date 8/8 at 8/8 my time. So I just use the symbolic, and because as you say, we are the creators, but just as we are recording this week 32 and 33, it is a big opening, but it also, since we have awakened, we are creating more deliberately. And what is going on here, maybe people will hear more sound than usual because we are changing our roof. So there are three carpenters on the roof. So I wasn't sure if we could make this podcast, and this reminded me of earthing, because the earthing again, because now for 4 days on the road I have worked 13 hours shift, and it has been very grounded, and the system is falling apart, and I have changed a lot of things. And when you change, someone reacted, someone was jealous, someone said, well, I got a lot of reaction. And I spoke with my one of the leaders. He said, well, you are a Duracell cannon. You do so much. It's happening so fast. We cannot cope with what you're doing. But it is the practical. So what I want to go back to, it is how do we use all this energy and all this creation for the good of humanity? Working in services with healthcare, I work for the people I work with, so kind of they don't have the deliberate creation we have, because they have different label category, and we do the best for them. So how, because I also have seen in Tromsø kommune where I live, when I started a project, I cannot go into it, but I made a lot of phone call, and they said, no, we cannot do this, no, we cannot do this, you have to wait a week, you have to wait a month. It's kind of, I was stopped so many times, and I refused to obey to that. So I continue, and finally I got a person, of course we will help out, because I needed a big car to bring something into physical form, and we didn't have this big car. So what I have seen all this week 32, it is how do we use this creational energy for the good for each and every one of this kind of. And yes, we can have some reaction, like I know that someone was jealous, and so I got labels because I did it. It went too fast. It's like, you are walking too fast. Well, when you are activated, when we live from this creational and you know who you are, it goes fast. But in the Tromsø kommune, you know, you have to wait a month or two. It's kind of crazy. But that's the old paradigm. So I just wanted a practical example for how it is if you operate on this level we are talking about, that we know that we are deliberate creation and we can create whatever, and it can go very fast. But we will get the old system. Oh, we don't go that fast. You have to wait a week or a month or two. No. All this. So just that we know that that's the old paradigm meeting the new paradigm.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think all my working life, I've been the guy who shortcuts the system.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
when they say, "Well, no, you can't do it that way."
yeah.
There must be another way.
You have to wait a month.
Well, they want it tomorrow. All right. Well, we'll go somewhere else and get it. But yeah, I think the other part of, because we were talking about portals and things. I think the other part of this is that once we're in this creation mode, if you like, we are behaving like a portal. Each and every one of us, we've said yes to it, and so our bodies. Because normally I've been what should we say, playing with portals, but they've always been over there somewhere, and I have to
Yeah,
go to them and go through
yeah,
them.
yeah. That's the old paradigm.
That's the journey. And I thought, well, but slowly the idea of portal is that no, we're the portal,
Yep,
and therefore, and this idea that reality flows through, is we're part of the machine of reality, but in a totally different way, where things are attracted to us,
yep,
and our direction of path eases, because, yeah, like you say, there's going to be bumpy
yep,
initially because this is so new. There's people are locked into the current way,
yep,
aren't they? And I've experienced this many, many times because I used to do change in businesses, and it was very, very difficult
yep,
sometimes because people were so, but I do this. This is my job. They had a job description that was
yep,
very rigid. And you
yep,
ask them to do this outside the job description. Oh, I can't do that. It's like, yeah, you could do, but what if we just, you know, loosened your job
yep,
description a little bit?
yep,
Well, I don't know that. I'm going to get unions. So we do know that there's a resistive part, but I think the idea that we're now these amazing potential. We've got this amazing potential. I think that is releasing some of those. Because so there was something else we were playing with. It was the idea of our bodies being viewing our bodies differently. So in the past, again, we've had the idea that healing must take time. And I mean,
Yeah.
you've had experience of this, haven't you? Healing must take time. And things move in a particular way because these are the laws that we've observed. Healing takes time, blah, blah,
Yep.
blah. What if those weren't there? What if we just released all those restrictions for,
Yep.
so mental ones, anything, just anything up, if even if those beliefs are locked in our body in some way, just let's release them now.
Yep.
Let's just release those now and let them all go. So we did a sort of symbolic removing of a garment, if you like, that contained all those restrictions. And the feeling of that then, the actual feeling of sitting there with no restrictions was astonishing. I mean, okay, yeah, we're still in our bodies, we're still talking, but the actual sense that we gained from that was total freedom of expression. And I know you've described this as homo luminous. This
Yep.
is this is what it is.
Yep.
It's a being who has no actual parameters locking, anything in. We're told that we flash on and off at millions and million times a second,
Yep.
and each one of those is a new version of us. Okay, so why don't we just choose one of those moments to become this? Why don't we just do it now?
Yeah.
If we're creative beings and if we've got all this, why don't we just do it?
Yeah.
So and I think those are the sort of things that mentally we could be playing with. And I think the other thing about being the portal and being this in our bodies now, like we do, is that there's a ripple going on
Yeah. It is.
around us that actually people who don't even know us are going to feel something.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily know what it is, but there'll be something because we're literally flowing the new through us,
Yeah.
and it's rippling out.
Yeah.
And the more of us that do this, and I mean this weekend, there'll be hundreds and thousands of people doing 888
Yeah.
meditations.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I've been invited to so many.
So why I say it is actually we that have opened this portal. It isn't because we say, oh, it is something out there that have opened it. We as human have said that 8-8 there is a thinning of the whale. Yes, because we as human do this. So this also shows us what we are capable. We are creators. So this week is amazing because a lot of say, oh, it started in the beginning of the week and it will last until next week. So week 32 and week 33, it is an opening, but it is because we do it. We are the creators opening to, and we meditate and we create. And it was also show me how good it is to make song because I didn't plan to make songs, make music. So that's why I made 3 more music because one, the song We Belong, when I checked it a couple of days ago, it was 80K, 80,000 views. Oh, I love this song. Oh, it resonates. Oh, because this is what we are invited into. So the theme for all the songs, it is kind of one humanity, one heart. We are the future. It's not coming someone from another galaxy saving us. Yes, we can communicate, but it is us. We have chosen to be here in this period to create the new earth. So everything happens through us as creators.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the most significant thing is that it's through us. Look,
Yeah,
it's even though we may have aspects of ourselves, or we're acknowledging that we have aspects of ourselves that have been here before as maybe extraterrestrials, or that we have been here as a dragon creating,
yeah,
whatever those things are, they all seem to have come to a point in this moment
yeah,
where they're all expressing or have the capacity to express through us. And
yeah,
I think that's one of the freedoms we experienced was that we could just move our awareness to our other aspects, but we're still in this. The important thing is that we're not moving out there, we're here.
yeah,
And that our awareness has moved, but the fact that we're in a human expression is the most important thing right now.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we don't want to leave this. We want more of that to come through here.
Yeah.
More of that capacity, more of that creative impulse. And I mean, a lot of the 8-8 conversations are around Egypt and the various traditions there, and just talking about that. My friend and I were straight there. We were underneath the pyramid,
Yeah.
and we were in a temple of some kind, and my goodness, the energy that was that just acknowledging that.
Yeah.
And the message we were getting was that now that we've moved into this, we are key holders, if you like. We're unlocking the what was left behind, if you like.
Yeah.
And it's now becoming available. It's coming online. The whole infrastructure that was quiet for so long is
Mm.
now coming online.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to play with those things because they're they feel real.
Yeah.
It
They
really
are
does.
real.
Yes. So you're switching on
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
because you're the key holder,
Yeah.
and you go, "Wow, I hadn't realized," and quite often I've found anyway, and I think we found the same when we're talking, is that it's because two people are sharing the experience,
Yeah.
is because one on his own turns up, hasn't got sufficient codes or power, or I don't know, the vibration's not quite, but two people turn up in the same vibration, suddenly the doors open and you're in.
Yeah, it's because we need mirrors. We cannot do it alone because it's like a knife cannot cut itself. Consciousness cannot. So we need mirrors. That's why we need at least two. Two is the last because you need mirror, I need mirror, and together we mirror each other in a high vibration.
That's it. Yeah, yeah. And I call it witnessing as well.
Yeah,
It's the same thing. Yeah. And there's something about that immense power
yeah,
that generates just two people like
yeah,
we're doing now
yeah.
talking. It amplifies.
It does.
And if you imagine that, then wider, like some of these meditations. I mean, one of the ones I used to go on for this particular thing, I haven't been attracted to it this year, but the lady that does them, she attracts something like 2 or 3 thousand people on her call. Wow. I mean, and so many of them are writing afterwards, well, that was lovely, blah, blah. But you imagine that sort of intensity, that's really bringing something new in.
Yeah,
And yeah, the intention of them all is really just, let's raise our vibration, let's create something new. And with that intention, it will happen,
yeah.
whatever that is. So that's
Yeah, and I have said yes to help people doing that because in week 33, what's come, I will start the concept of attunement session. And it is only 13 minutes, and I have had some that have tried it, so they have one have given me a reference because I give some question just that you go inward. What do you want? So if we get clarity, it is easier to have a direction because most when we scroll on a computer or a phone, it's kind of we don't have a direction. We are kind of lost. We just scroll, 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 scroll because we don't know which direction to go. We just listen to all crazy things. But if we have clarity, then we become in the state we are. We have clarity, we know which direction, we know that we are Homo luminous, deliberate creation. So helping people to just come to this and speaking, Trine is one of the people that said, yes, I can be your reference. I spoke with her for 13 minutes and she spoke for a minute, I think. And I said, stop. And then I just mirror back. And she was, wow, because you can hear just a minute, you can hear where they're at because we think we are so much here. Most people are so much in their head. What we are talking about, it is living from our heart. Open heart that and the creative stream that's come through us, not because we have pre-planned it, because we have script that says we have to do it this way. So if we go out of the script and just open up and let this creation come through us, through our heart, through our soul, then we are God within creation, deliberate creation.
Yeah, yeah. And I know we've both called it Christ consciousness in the past, haven't we?
We have, yeah, because it was shown Homo luminous is Christ consciousness.
And I think that's where, and although, maybe in the early days I might have said some of these phrases, like I am all that is. I've been saying that for years. And it kind of, you sit there going, I am all that is, and it's sort of that didn't change much. But these days, you say one of these phrases, and it's like, oh, I can feel that. That's really happening. So now, I am all that is, they're there. It is right. It's there. And so I think a lot of them, a lot of the reading and a lot of the progression that we've done to get to this point has actually led us to this point.
Yeah.
So it's if people are listening and they go, oh, I've tried that phrase, well, I didn't get much. Well, actually, that's not unusual because it's just this is a progressive thing.
Yeah,
But I
it is.
do believe that because we're sitting in this energy and we're flowing this energy as portals of it, if you like, the Christ consciousness, or call it, whatever that we feel comfortable with. Because we're doing that, it is landing on this planet. It is really rippling
Yeah,
through.
yeah,
And I think the momentum of it's breathtaking.
it
It
is.
is accelerating so quickly. That yeah, the idea that currently you've experienced, sort of with the blockages you've described, oh, can't do that, can't do that. I think those are slowly be easing,
Yeah,
perhaps even more quickly than we imagine, because this whole thing is an easing, you know. And I think the new is coming in faster than we know. And yeah, I'm really excited by it. Absolutely. Um,
but
Sometimes I do ask, because I'm a full-time carer, so I do ask, how is it then I can make a difference? So and the answer I get is sort of almost like astonished at the other part of, well, the part of me I'm talking to. Well, don't you think you're already making a difference?
yeah,
How does this work? This is what
you
you're
are.
doing. You're
Yeah,
not viewing it as something significant. You're just viewing it as something you do for an hour
yeah,
and then go off and make the tea, or whatever you do. Uh, you're not viewing it from the perspective of a creator. Whereas if you just step back and look at it from where we're looking at it from,
yes,
it's you're doing exactly what you should be doing in this moment.
yes,
So I think also, because I think a lot of people might find themselves in situations where, well, what can I do?
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
you can be massively, significant just because you had that kindly thought, or because you treated somebody, with respect, or
yeah,
whatever the thing is.
mm,
You're rippling through and making a
big time.
difference. So
But I want to mention a thing when you mentioned the system, and because being in the system and it goes fast, you say that the new energy is going so fast. It feels like chaos. When I was at work early morning, Monday morning, it was chaos. It was crisis on crisis and crisis that had built up. I hadn't been there that weekend, and it kind of, when I opened the door, it was like whoa, and I just took up my, I thought, okay, just handled. So I started to make a lot of change. So when we are in the system, we meet a lot of crisis, and this is because all the old have to transform. So I know that some of the people said, yeah, it goes so fast, but then they can see, oh, it can actually go that fast. It is possible. So we also become role model. And I want to mirror that back to you, Colin. You are a role model. You are taking care of your wife, and that most men, they actually, the statistics say that more than 80% of men leave their wife if they have trouble like that. So you are a good role model that you stay even though hardship comes. So this is, we need role models. So I see myself as a role model, that everything they say, oh, also when working in the Child Protective Service, one of the leaders said, "You are walking too fast. Things go too fast. We have to wait a month, a half year." And the people we work with said, "Well, I asked for this for a year." I say, "A year?" I was kind of, that's crazy. So yes, it can go so much faster, but in some years, this year, next year, and 2028, it will be a lot of chaos. So we experience it as chaos, but all what we see, because I have met a lot of projection, because all life is projection, and what they have projected on me is themselves, of course. So if we understand that, oh, you are doing that, when they project things and say, oh, it goes too fast, oh, why do you do so much, and things like that, why on what does this do with you? What does it make you feel? Because it is not a coincidence. So it is a fascinating time, but I spoke with someone a couple of days ago, and yeah, she met a lot of crisis around, and I said, well, 2027 and 2028 will be even more intense. Oh, how can that be? But it needs to, because we are balancing it out. Everything is balanced. We need balance, and we have gone so extreme to one side, kind of. And now we need to go a little bit extreme to the other side to balance it out, to come to a sustainable Homo luminous, then where we know that we are deliberate creators.
Mm, mm, yeah. And it is an entirely different place that we're coming from as well, because although we're bumping into structures and methodologies and, the old ways, um, we're being asked to come to it from a totally open book sort of thing, that there isn't a process. You allow it to become what it needs to be. It's almost removing all those ideas of, because to get something done in current reality, you have to have an objective. You have to describe it. You have to have specifications,
Yeah,
and you then have to go and find somebody who's capable of doing that. Blah blah blah.
yeah,
On it goes. On and on. Time. And we're being persuaded to just take that away, just put that aside. That's the old way that
yeah,
things got done. The new way is that you bring it to, you just bring it through you. And what happens is those things that can help you will be attracted to you,
yeah,
and they'll come to you in a very, you know, beautiful, easy, synchronous way,
yeah,
synchronicity,
yeah,
and it will be a magical experience. So that's our trajectory, if you like. Yeah, but in the meantime, we bump into things.
yeah,
But yeah, as long as we keep returning to that point, and to have the idea that because we've experienced these bumps, because we've had these experiences, we are coming to the reality from this reality creation from a totally new place that has never been on this planet before.
yeah,
And we are uniquely experienced to bring this in. And
yeah,
so many are watching to see how, wow,
yeah.
look at that, the new human. What a magnificent thing to witness.
Yeah, and we need it into the system and into the big cities, because if we imagine, if we go in nature, if we go in the wood, this we see healing and we see radical change instantly. So we are nature. This body is nature. So we see that if we let this nature do its thing, we heal naturally, and everything kind of come to us naturally. But in cities, we have so much doctrine. So in a lot of cities, it is dense energies, it is dense program. So we need this freshness, this natural nature thing, to move into cities and change cities, because cities, and particularly some of the big cities, they are so dense. So we need this, the energy we are speaking about, we need this energy into that system, into that cities more and more. And I have spoken with a lot of people that actually live in Stockholm, and this becomes their normal. And I remember when I was in Stockholm, my heart started just landing on Arlanda. So, but when you are born into it, this becomes your normal, and then your normal is out of balance before you are born, because your mother living there is out of balance. So it, I will see, as I see in the future, it will be a lot of people immigrating and going around. So it will be even more traveling. In Tromsø, it is a phenomenon that has happened the last 8-10 years. We have so many tourists, and Tromsø have stopped the tourists from the airport, but people from Finland have big buses, bring them into Tromsø because there are so many. So other countries bring them to Tromsø because we try to stop them, because we don't have toilets enough, we don't have hotels enough, we cannot cope with all the tourists, because this is have been kind of a portal opening here. But it is good because the energy is changing, but it is also an activation here. So the future, and also what happened now this last week in Spain, all the Moroccan, 60,000 Moroccan went into Spain, and Spain, like, wow, what is happening? All this immigrant, and it was chaos in Europe. What do you do if a situation like that happens? And also in TikTok, because I spoke with my kids, and they said, well, on TikTok they say that they will Islamic, the religion, kind of Allah should rule Europe. So they want to come to change Europe. But all these shadows is coming up. So yes, and this is one example of many. This will continue. We have not just seen it from Morocco to Spain, and it will be much more.
Mm. Yeah, because that's quite unique for Spain, isn't it? Because they have a little bit of Spain on Moroccan mainland, don't
Yeah,
they? And
yeah,
that's how that was possible.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a phenomenon. But there were so many other things contributing to this, which we could go into. But I think we'll try and keep it a little lighter. But I think the idea of all of this disruption, and all of the more obvious ways that the machine wants to press down on humanity and control to such levels, or facial recognition, all these bits and pieces, that I think people are becoming aware and thinking,
Yeah.
hold on a minute,
Yeah.
I haven't signed up for this. And then the corruption in the parliaments and the various governments and things like that's all bubbling up. And
Everything is bubbling up.
so it's just there for people to say, well, actually, I don't think I want that anymore. And then get into this creator mode and you know, be consciously
Yes.
making choices, making your choices differently, perhaps.
Hmm.
And because I mean, here we've got a beach just outside here, and this time of year it's very busy. I've got a holiday camp down the road, and people get onto the beach and they enjoy themselves, have a nice time. And when they leave the beach, there's plastic bottles, there's cans, there's bits of toys. And there's one guy, he's a really lovely chap. He's got a new age type shop where he sells plastic free stuff, And every day he goes along the beach with his bag and and he just picks it up. And and he's got quite a following now. A lot of people join him. And
Wow, I love
and
it.
and that just takes
Yeah.
somebody, and he's getting a little bit of traction on Facebook and such like that, and he's doing his bit, just one bloke, but
Wow.
then it ripples. And I
Yes.
think that's the thing we're looking at, is we're just
Yes.
looking at, what can I do? Well, pick a bottle up. If you see it on the floor, pick it up, put it in the bin.
Yeah.
Just, and that would, I mean, I think we've got a particular problem here in the UK, because I know that a lot of people have observed going to France or Spain or other Germany, is the streets are a lot cleaner, because it seemed, for whatever reason, their population doesn't throw stuff out of the car window like ours does. So it's like we have got some sort of weird thing going on here. But somebody just decides, okay, I'm going to pick that up, or hand it back to the person who just dropped it. You just
Perfect example. I love it. Yeah, perfect example.
Yeah. So I think we can all do something, and you'll be surprised actually how impactful that might be. It might have a ripple effect, and you might not see the ripple, but you know, it's
Yeah,
just
and I
making
was,
choices.
yeah, I was invited into something new, even though I thought it will come 2 or 3 years further in my future. And when it hit me last week, it kind of, oh, because that require a lot of me. But I know that I have all what it takes, and I will use August to find out all about it. But yeah, I have been prepared for this, even though I know that this will require, but this is mine to take, because we have earlier asked, is this mine to take? Yes. And it's like, and also I went into the consciousness of it, because it is multi-layered, and wow, deep wisdom. And I can't share it now because it is big. And I need to ground it, and I need to, yeah. So but I don't know the all how it will go, but I have just said yes. That's the first step, saying yes. What is you to say yes to? Even though I had planned my year kind of, but then this come on top of it. It's like, oh, do I have time for this? And Jenna said, okay, open up, because yes, I know that thing can go fast. I have seen it 1,000 times, but even me, I have some limits. But yeah, I will do it. So it is kind of to be awake. What is yours to do? Just a bottle, as you say.
Yeah, exactly. And it could be a small, or it could be, you know, a mega piece of work. But for me at the moment, this is it. This
Yeah,
is what I do.
yeah,
And I don't follow everything. Some people have got, you know, really into all the different people who have got, you know, like these conversations. They've got so many to choose from.
yeah,
But mine tend to come to me. Somebody will say, "Oh, have you seen this?" And I'm working on that as my method, if you like, that I'm already in the flow, and whatever I need will come to me
yeah,
in the moment. Yeah, I mean, sometimes things do get difficult. I mean, there's things happening here that are because I'm a volunteer as a director for the buildings management here. We've got something like 47 apartments that need managing. And in there, there's a couple of people there that really object to, you know, the decision I've just made. You know, I mean, it's really objectionable. You know, they're really vocal. And I thought I don't really need this. So I did I douse. You know, I've got a little crystal, and if I haven't got any ideas, I'll just say, should I still be doing this? You know,
yeah,
am I in the right place with this? And he said, yes, you need to do this. So I thought, oh, okay then. So it's a bit like you bumping into things, you know, it's like, oh, do I need this in my life?
yeah,
But apparently my being in this is making the difference.
yeah.
So yeah,
That's correct. Me also, because it is one aspect with it that I don't like, and this aspect is important to me. But there are 20, 30, 50 other aspects that are just beneficial, but it is the one that I don't. I'm focusing on the one thing that is like, oh, because I have said since I was a little, I when I get older, I will choose the opposite of this aspect, and now it's showing the. I got it even stronger. So I will actually go into the opposite of what I have said, and I know it is only one aspect of the totality, but anyhow, so we also tested, because it is belief we put up, of course.
yeah, yeah. And I think that's, you know, that's been it, it's been a thing from a lot. I mean, I've done this for so long now. When I was at work years and years ago, I went to Celestine Prophecy, or one of those early books where they talk, you know, they talk about consciousness, and you're thinking, wow, this is amazing. So I would sit outside. I was going to have an interview with my boss. You know, it was one of the annual reviews or whatever, and I'd sit outside before I went in, and just allow the energy, you know, myself to calm down, and you know, ask for the most beneficial outcome, whatever that might be. Um, and oddly, um, he asked, how are you doing, blah, blah. And I was saying, well, actually, this job's killing my soul. Where did that come from? And he said, oh, I'm very sorry about that. I said, yeah, I think, unless something changes, I'm going to have to, think about moving on.
Yeah.
Oh, don't leave, don't leave. And I think, well, why did I just say that? But it just came out, and actually the ripple from that was that I was moved to another department where I actually enjoyed working. And
Yeah.
I think sometimes we just assume that it is the way it is,
Yeah.
and there's nothing
Yeah.
can change.
Yeah.
So I just have to put up with it. Well, what if you don't? What if there's another alternative?
Yeah.
And I guess I've always been in that groove. Whenever the job or whatever I'm doing is, I'm really not really liking this anymore. Um, you're sending a little message out to the universe.
Yeah.
Change. He's considering change. Oh, let's see what we can bring for him. And I think again, it's choice, it's attitude, it's choice. It just stimulates that little bit of the creative to then allow it to move,
Yeah.
allow it to deliver to you an alternative.
Mm.
You may not know what it is. You may not even have expected it to come.
No, I didn't expect it to come.
But there you are.
Yeah. Yeah. But if I go, since I have been in so many past life and I see the gift that I had in that life that is natural to me, it's like, okay, I have done this before, so I know it, I will do it with ease. More, even though it is can be a hard task, I do it more easily than others. So I'm supposed to because I have it in me. So yeah. So the soul speaking to us in so many levels because I knew it, as I said, I thought it would come in the future when I was 60 years, maybe. But it wanted to start now, and I understand it because when I go into, okay, we are now in 2026, 27, 20, so I understand, and the time is going so fast.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
So
I just have obeyed. Okay.
yeah. Well, I think that's the key is being open, and seeing what wants to happen now. And it's so fluid. And I think we talk, there's been a sort of sense that creation is behaving more like a fluid. It doesn't have rigid sides. It's more like a river flowing than
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
And you're guiding it, but you're not the only person guiding it. So there's a excuse me, there's a going with the flow element to it as well, isn't
It
there?
is.
So you may have had a plan that you're going that way, but actually the current's taking you this way, and you think, oh, okay, then what shall I do? Shall I resist the current or shall I go with that? So
Yeah, because the collective consciousness is affecting us all the time. So we can have a plan here, and the collective do a term like what happened in Spain. Suddenly, 60,000 Moroccans. It's like, whoa! Then we have to shift something. So that is a good example. That suddenly 60,000. It is almost all Tromsø. It's like, whoa! So we need to shift if this happen in the future, and that can happen not only in Morocco, from other places, because we know that thing will move. It will be big movement in the years to come.
surely, yeah. And of course, it's also pointing to um, our differences and having us look at them and say, well, why is that a problem? Why is having a difference a problem? Why
Yes.
why is that boundary there? What
Yes.
is it for?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think that all those questions uh, just is prompting everyone to sort of think about. Well, I say everyone. There's still people locked in the get rid of all the foreigners mode in our country for sure. And sometimes I have a conversation with one of them, and I say, well, so, but why do you think they're coming over? Where are they from? What circumstances led them to jump on a boat, risk their lives coming across the channel to come to this not so friendly country, as it turns out, because where they've come from is devastated by war or famine or something. Something's led them to this point. Shouldn't
Yeah.
we fix that? Shouldn't we look at why that's happened?
Yeah. Yeah.
and have a look at what circumstances have led to that,
Yeah.
and see if there's anything we can do, rather than just say, oh, we're full up now. We're only a little island. We can't take any more. Okay.
Yeah, even though they were organized, they were kind of organized, and they saw that they did this deliberate. It is something. Why? What led up to that?
Well, yeah. Yeah. Well, I think there's a few theories around that one, but another time maybe.
Yeah. Well, I love this, and but yes, using week 32 and 33, create them deliberately. That's kind of the core message for this time, because it is actually easier because we are attuned to, oh, it is a portal. Even though we are a portal, it is easier now because the collective have opened for this.
Yeah, I think that's the key.
Yeah.
It's you could describe it as a belief, but it's true that because so many people are in the same mode of, with here's a portal, then there is one,
Yeah.
because we're creators.
Yes.
And it's not a bad thing, because all of the lovely energies that they can connect with and bring through will be transformative. They'll be good for the planet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's a massive, beautiful time. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Colin, for mirroring this theme back and out in this podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Divine Design podcast with Ann-Peggy Divine. Join us next Sunday for another Heaven on Earth unfolding conversation. With grace, reverence, and unity, may the path of your divine design light the way. From the divine in us to the divine in you.